Have you ever looked at something like Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids and just thought, how? How on earth did ancient people, without our modern tech, build these things with such mind-boggling precision? Well, author Richard Heath has a pretty wild answer. He says it wasn't about better tools. It was about a totally different kind of science, a lost language of numbers and geometry that he calls the language of the angels. So, here's the journey we're going on. We're going to start with that big mystery, the ancient enigma itself. Then, we'll dive into the key that supposedly unlocks it all, this angelic science. We'll see how it was apparently decoded from the sky, used to literally model our planet in stone, and how this same blueprint just keeps showing up across the globe. And then we'll wrap up by asking, what could this all mean for us right now? All right, so let's set the stage with the puzzle that started this whole thing. All around the world, you have these ancient cultures that were supposedly completely disconnected. Yet they left behind these incredible structures that, frankly, just shouldn't be possible with the tools they had. No, I mean, really think about it for a second. No power tools, no computers, no giant cranes. So how do they do it? It's a question that stumped people for centuries. And the deeper you look, the weirder it gets. You know, piling up big rocks is one thing, but doing it with this kind of pinpoint accuracy, that's a whole other ballgame. Take the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's aligned to true north with just a tiny, tiny fraction of a degree of error. That's not a lucky guess. That's incredibly sophisticated knowledge of astronomy and engineering. And then there's just the colossal scale of it all. At Karnak in France, you have thousands of massive stones arranged over miles. The stones for Stonehenge were hauled from ridiculously far away. Just the sheer logistics of these projects are hard to wrap your head around, even for us today. But here's the really wild part. You've got these sites separated by thousands of years and thousands of miles, but they often share these weirdly similar geometric ideas and astronomical alignments. So you have to ask yourself, was it all just a massive coincidence? Or were they all tapping into the same shared playbook? And that's where Richard Heath comes in with a totally different take. He argues the secret isn't some lost piece of technology, but a lost way of thinking, a forgotten understanding of the universe through numbers that he calls angelic science. So what is this angelic science? Well, according to Heath, it's a whole system of knowledge. It's not about math for calculating taxes. It's about understanding the basic qualities of numbers, their relationships, their geometry. And the theory goes, this knowledge wasn't just invented by humans. It was discovered by watching the beautiful, predictable patterns of the sun, moon, and stars. And this is the absolute key difference. Our modern math is all about what numbers do, how they add up, subtract, how we can use them to build things. But this ancient numeracy was focused on what numbers are. They saw each number as having its own unique character, its own meaning that reflected the deep structure of reality itself. Okay, so where did this deep knowledge even come from? If they didn't have textbooks or universities, how did they learn it? Well, the argument is the answer was right there above their heads every single night. The sky wasn't just something to look at. It was a cosmic instruction manual. He puts it just like this. He says the whole relationship between the Earth, Sun, and Moon wasn't some random cosmic accident. It was a system that was deliberately simple and elegant, a system designed to be understood. Just by watching and counting the celestial cycles, early people could basically download the fundamental ratios of the universe. And the book outlines this incredible process. So picture this. Ancient astronomers are marking off the days, maybe with a small unit, like an inch. They track 3 full solar years and 3 full lunar years. Of course, they end up with 2 different lengths. Now, here's the cool part. The theory says the difference between those 2 lengths gave them a brand new unit of measurement, the megalithic yard. Then they did it again, but this time they measured the difference between just 1 solar and lunar year using their new megalithic yard. And what did they get? A length that was exactly 12 inches, the English foot, a unit of measure born directly from the sky. Now, creating a universal ruler is pretty amazing, but that wasn't the end goal. According to this theory, this heavenly system of measurement gave them the tools to do something truly unbelievable. To build working scale models of our planet and its place in the cosmos, right here on solid ground. At the heart of a lot of these ancient structures, Heath argues, is a concept he calls the equal perimeter model. It's this incredibly simple and beautiful geometric trick that connects the Earth with the heavens. Here's how it works. First, you represent the Earth, our stable, grounded world, as a square.
And you just say each side has a length of 11 units. Okay, easy enough. Next, you represent the heavens, the celestial world, as a circle. And this circle has a diameter of 14 units. So you've got a square of 11 and a circle of 14. So what? What's the link?
The link, the magic number that ties it all together, is 44. See, the perimeter of the square is 4 times 11, which is 44. And the circumference of the circle, using the ancient value for pi, 22/7, is 14 times 22 divided by 7, which is also 44. Suddenly, the earth and the heavens are locked together by the same measurement.
And this is where it stops being a neat math trick and supposedly gets very real. That ratio of 7 to 11, that's half the circle's diameter to the square's side, is encoded right in the shape of the Great Pyramid. This same geometry also happens to perfectly model the relative sizes of the Earth and Moon. And the craziest part? When you use that special unit, the foot, the entire model is said to scale up perfectly to the actual physical size of our planet.
But the theory goes even bigger than that. This wasn't some one-off thing that only the Egyptians knew. The argument is that this sacred blueprint, this geometric language, is like a secret code that runs through thousands of years of human history all across the planet.
I mean, just look at this timeline. The theory traces this system from the ancient stone rows in France around 4000 BCE to the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Then it jumps thousands of years to the Roman Pantheon, then centuries later to the Kaaba in Mecca, and even to the floor of Westminster Abbey in the 1200s. It's presented as evidence of this single, secret stream of knowledge passed down through completely different religions and empires.
So after following this incredible breadcrumb trail through history, what's the big takeaway? Why does any of this ancient stuff matter to us now?
Well, the ultimate implication is profound. It completely changes how we see the universe. If this theory is right, it means our cosmic home, the precise relationship between the sun, the moon, and the earth, isn't just a lucky, random accident of physics. It's a deliberately designed and constructed artifact. He himself says that humanity's next great leap forward isn't discovering life on other planets, but discovering that our own planet is a product of intelligent design, that we're basically living inside an elegant message from some kind of higher intelligence. And that leaves us with one last massive question to chew on. This ancient science, if it's real, wasn't just about building things. It was a way of seeing the world as an intentional, meaningful, and intelligent creation. So, if our world really is a message written in the language of sacred geometry, are we finally getting ready to read it?